Rumour has it this game went down this morning and it was this epic, I just had to bring you it right here, right now. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's 5 versus 5. It is an epic, as we've said, so that means it goes on over an hour, with the red team versus the yellow today, rated 14-11. Team 2 are just 15 points ahead overall. Those of you that can divide 15 by 5 means just a 3-point per player lead favouring them. All but one player on each team going random, which means if I was playing, I'd be that one guy that chose my faction because, well, if I went Aeon, I'd have to re-host. And it all went down on the neroxis 10 by 10, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and start the game because this is definitely not a Guilecaster, so I can't say the players are sure as hell ready, even though they are. So let's go on, jump in. Yeah, this game going down just a few hours ago. Usually these games are reserved for the patrons for the first few hours up to a day, and then I give it to everybody else. But you know what? Today's going to be different, and they're in for their own treat later on anyway. So if you're interested in helping to support the channel, do make your ways over there, link in the description. But for now, it's time for Tactical Takeover. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I went camping last week, and I know you're all bored with story, but I did, and it was very wet and rainy, so I actually left the tent there, came back, and I went camping again. And while I was away, I set the last game to upload because I'm like that to give you content. Alright, so let's go ahead, do away with this. Let's start that, let's turn that down, let's unpause the game. Let's do away with this. Turn the game sounds up a little bit, reduce that a little bit more. And so as we've said, Team 1, the red team up in the upper east side today. The yellow guys, Team 2 on the lower west side. And it is the Team 2 down here that are enjoying that 5 points per player lead. With that said and done, Deribus says, didn't say he was a smurf of someone good. Deribus no doubt getting suspicious with the one player whose rating points are, well, way off. It was actually 752. Supreme Scoreboard's been kind and rounded him off to 800. Which, if we take a look at my little overlay thing, if I can find it, is the difference between a noob and a Joe, only just by the 1 point. And so I'll no doubt refer to him something in that way, because CST, in fact, let's start with the guy. Where is he? Where is he? Here he is. And so for Team 2, first player on the east, or the most eastern side, is CSTRKR16. aka the noob. May also say Joe once in a while, may accidentally say the word noob, of course, then we're getting into technicalities. But taking a quick look at his little opening, very interesting. Ruins his tree clump before the reclaim, so perhaps is not a pro. Alright, moving on then. Far too much time spent there on one player. Further on to his west then is Maximus Triple X. We've seen this guy many a time on the channel there in pink going Cyber and First Land. Further on to the other forward position, or the central position, is Boba Fett. First time I've seen this guy on the channel, unless of course he's changed his name. In yellow there, also our first UEF of the day, 1500 going First Land. And then over here on the front line is Deribus himself, another 1500. Another UEF, Cyan going First Land. And then last but not least for his team, and certainly not the least because he's the highest rate for his team, is, I'm going to go with Furio. Furio, I've been watching Sopranos lately, but yeah, Furio, let's use his name properly and let's not just make one up as I usually do, let's face it. Furio, yeah, the 1900 Aeon. The first Aeon we've seen to date as well in khaki green First Land, and second air backing onto that hydro for max adjacency. Alright, let's flip over to the other side, and I'll tell you what, let's mix things up. We'll start in the rear for Team 1. Furio's opposite number, Nomander, the highest rated player on his team, also a 1900 there in sky blue going Cybran First Air, and yet to build any other factories. Moving to his south then in white is Fraggington. Yes, white. I used to have the teacher at school, and And there was no white line. It was a white line. And so, yeah, Fraggington there, 1300. Our first day on for his team. Going first land, looks like second air queued up. Moving over then to his west, we've got in deep purple here is Dead 6. He's a 1300 Cybran going first land. I always like to say hello to the command. In fact, he's gone second land as well. Here he is, Dead 6, very much alive at this moment in time. Moving over here in electric blue. By the way, did I say this was a good game? I couldn't wait to bring you it. Well, it is. It's a great game, and I couldn't wait to bring you it. Although, statistically, right, the people who are watching now, I still have like 95 or so % by the very end of the game. So people who do get this far generally trust me that I have a pretty good idea what makes a good game. Either way, just thought I'd, you know, big myself up a little bit there. Over here, we've got somebody saying, yeah, right, in every other regard, you're no good, though. That's where you cast. Aye. Electric blue, another UEF here. Kazimarus, I beg your pardon, Kazimarus. Another 1300, lots of 1300s today. Going first, second, and third land. And then last but not least, because we do hear the action kicking off over here, is Johnny Jr. He's a 1300. Another Seraphim player with the red. Ferrari red there going first. Well, I'm not going to try and guess. All I'm going to say is the first 3 lands and 4th air. Although the order could be mixed up a bit. He's already getting his energy and power storages sorted there. It looks like he's got a little template to try and give him a little bit of both. And with that, I think my mouse view as the way it zooms in and out has changed a little bit. I'm used to it being a little smoother. Anyway, with that, the introductions are out the way. It's 5 minutes and things are really beginning to heat up here. And so I think with it, we can get to a slightly more upbeat piece of music because the situation is afoot. And Maximus pushing Dead 6 back. Dead 6 a little light on reinforcements. Maximus Triple X does have him. Maximus is 100 rating points ahead. And so while he may be able to kill Dead 6 at this moment in time, it might not necessarily be in his best interest to do so. It looks like Maximus was initially trying to trap the commander's escape using an attack, spread move on the, and he's doing it again. Look at this. He's using his Mantis in such a way to try and block Dead 6's escape. Dead 6 absolutely laser focused on Maximus's commander. Usually the commanders would go for the units that are escorting, but not in this case. And Dead 6 looks like he's just about going to get away with it. He's got just 800. Oh, that is so ballsy. Reclaiming on the front line when an enemy commander with superior health and superior forces is continuing to press. Just turning those game sounds down just a little bit. And so, yeah, take a look at this. By the way, Neroxis, it is a 10 by 10. I think we see far too few games on the 10 by 10. We'll take a look at some of the other action points in a minute. But yeah, the split is, you know, as we would expect, sort of mirror through the diagonals today. And so Maximus certainly well beyond the 50-way mark. And right now we've got a bomb coming in. We're not going to see how many kills, but I can tell you almost for sure it was 0. Although it did damage a couple of T1 units there. And so at this moment in time, Maximus backing off a little bit. He does have a little bit of reclaim to draw on. And coming up north, yeah, the main opponent he was up against, Dead 6, is now going for an upgrade on his gun. And he needs something. A little further down south then, Fraggington, we see big press here from Maximus. Does Maximus know what he's pressing into? I'm not sure he quite realised what was there. Because with all these factories, together with the Auroras and the commander there from Fraggington, this is a waste. We've also got a real nice pincer movement here from Dead 6, helping to form part of a blocking force that got at least some of the retreating units. And I think Maximus there lucky to get away, even with just the 10 or so units that he did. The rest of them reinforcing quite quickly. A quick check elsewhere then up top. In the upper west side, we see Doribus there pressing through up against Johnny Jr. Doribus has got himself the gun and mostly spam engineer here for intel. Take a look. What's Johnny Jr. up to? Oh my goodness. That is a lot of upgrades. Look at this. 8 minutes. He's got gun, nano, and tech 2. That is a very strong commander for 8 minutes. And we see how he's been able to pull it off. Johnny Jr. He's got almost no units to stop this attack. I think we're going to have to go split screen here. And we'll focus up top there with one of the cameras. And with the other, we're going to have to take a look down here. It does seem like there is this big attack brewing right here. And Dead 6 does get himself the gun. Maximus there, Triple X, not yet. He's halfway done. So is he going to cancel? Dead 6, of course, lower health, but he's regenning awfully quick. He's already at 4,100. Taking a look over here. Johnny Jr. continuing to push Deribus back. Deribus coming forward with his commander, who of course has the gun, but without the nano or the tech. Maximus here does lose his engineer that was assisting the upgrade, and in a moment of desperation elects not to cancel his upgrade. Does, however, throw all of his units forward, causes Dead 6 a moment of pause. Dead 6 now rolling onto the scene with Tech 2. Maximus does now get his gun, and not a moment too late. He's going to want to back off pretty quickly. Does, however, manage to hold there just about. And so that there pretty clinched for Maximus, exchanging all of his units in order to complete his gun and not have to cancel. If he was going to cancel, it was half done at that moment in time. Let's go back to single screen. And let's focus back in up on the upper west side. This seems to be where most of the action is at this moment in time. See, Deribus was well past the 50 waymark, is trying to establish a forward operating base over here, but he's up against such a strong commander that is flanked with, well, it looks like artillery for days. It's Zooies, Zooies, and Zooies. So providing he can micro his tanks and just keep them zigging, zagging back and forth, these Zooies won't have a chance, but it does look like Johnny Jr.'s primary objective is to go for these tanks. Of course, the commander can't be everywhere, so yeah, nice move here from Deribus, bringing these tanks back round behind the artillery pieces. But Johnny Jr. just looks unstoppable at this moment in time. He's walking into a Tech 1 point defense. The artillery should be able to deal with that point defense, and indeed they do. Johnny Jr. now, nice rank of vet there. He's now a 2-star and he's 9,500 hit points. Look at him flying back on. 92 hit points a second. That's more. That's almost as many hit points as the commander's capable of damaging him at. And of course, during that whole time, he can keep inflicting more damage, get more vet, and that will carry on climbing. Quick check on the map elsewhere, see what's going on. We see Maximus Triple X down here. Looks like he's getting ready for another push. Down here, we see the weakest player. And again, the noob. CS, whatever it is, 16, just the noob. He's walling himself off with point defense. So this could be a very noobish style of play. So I'm relatively confident that, yeah, he's no pro, no smurf account. We'll check back on that in a minute. Little press there from Maximus. Wow, nice use of the bombers as well versus Fraggington. Fraggington, the 1300, so it's a 500 point disparity, which is quite something. Johnny Jr., meanwhile, got knocked down to 3,700 hit points, but with that rep, that's going to go back awfully quick. Almost 1,000 hit points every 10 seconds. And yeah, with his Tech 2, oh man, he can just build himself Tech 2 point defense as he goes, or a radar system, or whatever he fancies. Deribus over here momentarily rooted to the spot as he goes for nano repair. Could really do with an engineer to assist that. It's just 18-20% now. Oh, that was an overcharge and a half. Did you see it went like that? Went after the pillar tank, was not enough to one shot. So if Johnny Jr. needs anything, it's slightly more energy storage to ensure that he can one shot these Tech 2 units. He's already at 9,000 hit points. He forces the cancel there on Deribus. Derebus continuing to get pushed back. I think he realizes the gig's up. He's not even trying to retreat anymore. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's good night. Our first player bowing out on the northwestern corner in 13 minutes, 5 seconds. Derebus, good game, well played. That's always good sportsmanship there. Realizing he had his opponent pinned all the way back because his opponent was going for the tech. Derebus let him get all of those upgrades, and now Johnny Jr. looking pretty unstoppable. 86 kills so far, and he's now a 4-star commander with now well north of 100 hit points per second. Going back onto that chassis. Meanwhile, we'll take another look down here. The central regions there looking relatively stacked. We've got the typical base wars there. Who can build the most shields and artillery and mobile missile launchers the quickest? The noob here with a little press with a few Mantis. Mantis pressing through into Fraggington's flank. Fraggington, who is here with his commander, is the Aeon Sniper. Got the gun on both arms. We still have ourselves Dead 6, who's at full health now, looking much healthier than he was before. And this is a little bit of a 2 versus 1 situation with Maximus. And so it does feel like Team 2 are a player short, and I think that's because we've got the noob down here behind his walled-off point defense, playing it very cautiously. Maximus looking very, very just overrun right now. His forward units are beginning to collapse. His main base here, his main fire base at least, completely overrun. Dead 6 almost at full health, and Dead 6 is pressing. 2,800 hit points and falling. Now sub 2,000. Fraggington's behind, just mopping up. Yeah, and I don't think there's any way out here for Maximus. 605, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go sleep with the fishes. Team 2 find themselves 2 players down. It's a 5 versus 3 inside 15 minutes. Quick check back over here. Johnny Jr. with some minor air. Oh, I say minor. We've got a few Spectres here, of course, being Tech 2. He can knock himself up the anti-air, but for now, he looks like he's pretty much outgunned. What have we got here? Fury, I'm going to ignore the land units. 5 Spectres, 5 bombers capable of 700 DPS. Johnny Jr. can only rep up 100 hit points per second, but that's still a 600 DPS disparity. And Nomanda says, yeah, don't tell me about it. I'm already on the case. And with it, Team 1 restore their air control. By the way, Furio just got a bunch of ASF of his own. Perhaps it was a little mistake leaving him out there. At this moment in time, it's 28 versus 23. So Furio did have air supremacy. And had he had those ASF with his gunships, he would have been able to continue with that attack. Johnny Jr., no doubt, very relieved he was able to get the shield up. And then the unit of flak. And that will be Johnny secure for the moment. I always like, builds a couple of Tech 1 factories. Very quick to do with a Tech 2 commander. 2 or 3 Tech 1 factories. Spam out engineers. And he can be Tech 3 in no time, should he wish. So while we do have this slight lull of activity, let's have a little look then at economies so far. 16 minutes 45 seconds. Take a look at the totalizer. Well, there's a bit of a discrepancy there. Team 2, 269 versus 223 at the time that I look. I always like to try my hand at the percentages, and I'm going to say it's a 20% advantage for these guys on the lower west side. And so that is not entirely insignificant. And that perhaps no doubt due to the the 2 players that have gone down. The remaining players not quite having the micro to upgrade and deal with the attacks at the same time. It's like Fraggington fancying his chances down here. But I'm sure he must realize there's one heck of a fight. Yeah, look at that. They've had scouts over there. That is one heck of a fire base that the noob has managed to knock himself together. He's walled it off. He's got tap missile defense. He's got capped off artillery pieces for the rate of fire, together with more Cerberus turrets so that you can shake a stick at. He's also got himself factories, Tech 1, Tech 2. And he's going for his upgrades. By goodness, this guy, look at this. He's already got Tech 3 capped off mass points. A lot of them are a Tech 2. And so while he may be a noob, he's certainly not ecoing like one. Speaking of which, let's have a look at mass income. Yeah, look at this. 110. In fact, if we ignore the players, Nomander for his heir, and on the other side, Furio, who's had 2 bases handed over to him, the noob is only second to Boba Fett. And so, yeah, his economy is certainly no giveaway at being a noob. Of course, you build less units, that's more units to dump into economy. I get it, I get it. The Static Fire base wars continues in the Central Estate meanwhile. Boba Fett, he's got the UEF, he's a Tech 2 commander with the gun. And yeah, he's capping off these artillery pieces for rate of fire, shields. And he does look like he's got a lot more artillery pieces than our blue friend up here. Marius has got bother. He's also got mobile missiles coming in, and he's lost all of his shields at this moment in time. Yeah, he's only got 3 or 4 artillery pieces versus 5, and they've all got their rate of fire enhancements. And so I think that is slowly going to go Boba Fett's way, and then after the initial slow capitulation of Marius, it's going to go quicker and quicker. And I think Marius knows it. He's already running away. He's pulling his engineers out, and he's going to draw a new front line. Is he firing TAC missiles, or are these still just static artillery pieces? He's going for flaks, burst masters, he's got rhinos, and so yeah, for a noob, you know, he's pretty walled in. Very nice, and he's continuing to tech. And so certainly, you know, if all that the noob here can do is defend his team from all attacks coming down on the eastern flank, down through then the southern side, then he's at least doing something. And with his economy, it's going to be pretty big. If he can wall up, you know what the noobs typically do. They wall themselves up, eco off, and then go for the big toys, don't they? That's typically what they do. If he can follow the noob meta, I'm no doubt he will be of benefit to his team. And right now, this artillery is pretty aggressive. He's building quite a lot of it, and that will cause or prevent Team 1 from just being able to idly expand. I mean, for example, this engineer here, well, at first I thought he was building mass points, but I guess he's just been on reclaim. You see, stuff like that is going to be causing bother there. And so I don't think Dead 6 is going to be able to hold on to this position. He's trying to get a forward operating base online. I don't think it's happening. Well, those artillery I tell you what, that was a nice pickup from a lost position there. Marius, just 2 artillery pieces left. What sort of range do these boys have on them? Well, there we go. Yeah, good options there. He's going. Oh wow, I think static artillery's gotten a buff. That was a Tech 2 mass point that just got taken out in one shot. I'm almost sure it was full health, and I was talking about TAC missile launchers, and look at the cheek on this noob. He's firing them into Fraggington's base. Fraggington, who does thankfully have himself a TAC missile defense online, he's going to want to get... I guess he has got a couple. Although back here isn't defended. And it looks like a missile gets through. And it's picking up an upgrading Tech 2 mass extractor. If he can thread a few more missiles through, although perhaps not aware if the nub quite saw the advantage that he had. Let's check back in over here. And Marius just assisting the shield. It's a Tech 3 shield. 17,000 hit points in total. But, you know, I mean, at some point you're going to want to do something other than just assist a shield. Because you are going to lose that battle, assuming Boba Fett decides to go for another. Although he doesn't. He's just assisting this. This forward position does look a little weak from the air defense. We do have 1 air cleaner, the Tech 2 flak from the UEF. That is all. Yes, there are quite a few shields to break through. Yeah, look at this. Static artillery here from the noob continues to lay down the smack on Dead 6's forward operating expansion, the forward operating base. It's going to take it out. But for now, the real action over here with Johnny Jr. I'm surprised how forward he is. At 23 minutes, he still takes, so he's the same as he was like, well, it feels like 20 minutes ago. It's only 15. It was at 8 minutes he had these upgrades. He has not got himself anything else. And in come a bunch of restorers here from Furio. I don't think it's enough. There's 4 of them. They're going down pretty quick. Look at this. Johnny Jr. don't care. He's continuing to press. He sees his restorers more as pretty decoration on his screen rather than any real threat. Lots of nice lights. You know how we like our cinematics once in a while. There we go. The restorer there belonging to Furio. Just one of them backing off. There's another heavily damaged one here. He's got 5 purses here going. Johnny Jr.'s got to be careful. Just 5,000 hit points remain. And he gets to purses. I'm not sure if he overcharged them. Perhaps somebody could just wipe back and let us know what happened there. Did he overcharge that clump of purses? I assume he did. Just as well, because they would have killed him. And Johnny Jr. now going for the shield. He is now a fully vetted up 5-star commander with 16,500 mass killed to his name. He's also got air supremacy overhead from Nomander and a few artillery pieces trying to press forward into the base. Previously belonging to Deribus, as far as I'm aware, that's now getting overrun by these artillery pieces. They're not going to cause that much damage. We do have purses waiting in the wings here, as well as Tech 2 point defense there, the triad, so it's more of an annoyance than anything. No real damage caused. Couple of anti-air guns getting deep into the back of the base there, and they're not going to cause any damage. We're not at the Tech 1 stage. Johnny Jr. now going for the advanced nano repair. Interesting that his decision was to do that before the Tech 3. He has got himself several engineers in the area, and they are now all assisting as well. Let's have a quick look at the map then with regards to mass. We see there's been quite a bit of damage over this area from the fighting, but most of it in this area, we've got damage here from aircraft that have been shot down, or mass, should I say, from aircraft that have been shot down. But most of it, thanks to the carnage and the aftermath there from Johnny Jr. So at 25 minutes, I do feel that there was this, little bird told me that there was just 1 or 2 points in this game where we just need to up the pace just a tad until things really get going again. And so that's what we will do. And while we wait for these things to happen, let's have a quick look at the mass. 680 versus 590, still in favor of Team 2. So it's not quite the 20% that it was, but it's still above 10. Big scouting run there from Nomander. I think at this point we can we slow down? Come on, Johnny Jr., are you going to press? Now you've got your nano. He's going for Tech 3. I guess he wants some point defense to retreat back to, which is not a bad decision. Goes for a radar. Well, that's a good choice. And a lot of engineers there on reclaim. So let's slow the time back down, as we have speeded our ways through a minute. Come on, man. Somebody do something. Let's have a little look what's going on back at base. Air grid, as we would expect from rear players. Let's have a little look how these are going. We've got 11 Tech 3 factories so far from Furia. That does exclude, I believe, the HQ, so call it 11 or 12. If we come over here for Nomander, it's 10. And so, 10% advantage, let's call it, for Furio. Oh, Furio, I'm always going to get that wrong. Sorry, man. Johnny Jr., man, but I don't know whether to call this balls of steel or outright stupidity. Perhaps somebody's can give us a clue. 111 kills, 53,000 hit points. Getting back 260 a second. That's pretty mad right there. And he's up against an army of Perseus. You're going to need every one of those regenerable hit points to do this. Look at it, man. And Furia's cycling shields over the top and all. Johnny Jr. continuing to back off his throwing. He's only got spam with him. Only spam. We've got a Tech 2 flat cannon here, but really it's spam. Few strap bombers overhead now from Nomander going after the Percy's there. No doubt trying to save Johnny Jr., but I'm not sure he needed it. Still 28,000 hit points. See how he does. He's still up against 5 Percy's. Any normal commander, 5 Percy's, that would be it. Curtains. But not Johnny Jr. He did lose 10,000 hit points. 12,000, and 3 of the Percy's remain. Ballsy play. Out come a few restorers from Furio. They go a little too far forward. There's so much anti-air in the area here, but he managed to pick them off. And Furious ASF was further back, sleeping. What we got here, 129 versus 147. Alright, so let's call it 50-50 if you factor in the restorers and the ASF together. But over the SAM sites there of Team 2, that, had it have engaged, would have been a win for Team 2. I think Nomander knows it, that's why he backs off. And Nomander, somebody else not afraid to use the air repair pads. Here, watch this heavily damaged ASF. Here's my point, look at it. From like 3/4 damage to full health in like 2 seconds. Now, had that ASF been engaged in an air-to-air fight, one-shot buff, it's dead. Now it's going to take several again. Sure, I don't need to teach you, but you know, I don't know why I get so excited about that, I just do. Dead 6 now pushing through with a brick wall together with a couple of rhinos. And he does have himself at least one bouncer in back, which is just as well, because there was an enemy restorer on the case. The bouncer does not get the kill, so there must have been something else here. We have ourselves a flag, or what was it then? Oh, there's a bouncer up front. I'm blind. So 2 bouncers, and we do have ourselves our first nuke out. Didn't actually hear the announcement there. The nuke going for the weakest guy, the strongest guy in the game. Nukes the weakest guy, and I can only assume that's because, taking a look at this, despite being the weakest guy, look at his eco, 182,000 over the course of the game. He completely outruns everybody except for Boba Fett. The only other players ahead of him were sat on multiple bases, with the exception of Nomander, who's obviously the air player in back. More mass points. Bricks versus Percy's then in this very narrow little passage in the mid. I do like this map. Again, the AI map gen, the Neroxis map gen is getting better and better at what it does, right? I realise version 1.9 has been out a while, but look at this 10x10 map. It is almost of the stock map quality, you know, the maps that came built in. Now look at this. The noob, having been nuked, wastes no time in getting his engineers back onto the case, going straight for Tech 3 mass. He's got Tech 2 here that was almost Tech 3. I'm not sure what to do. He had perhaps assist the upgrade here. What's his economic situation? Well, it's minus 418. The economic situation remains grim at this moment in time for our friend, whose base is currently got a healthy dose of radiation spreading across. Furio sending engineers over, it would look like, who don't go nicking his mass points. I hope he doesn't nick his pat. I hate that. The weakest player takes one to the face. The strongest player dives in. Oh, what pickings can I have from his base? Oh, I'll have that mass here. I'll have that mass extractor there. But for now, it looks like the engineers are just on move in and hold. And so, yeah, 33 minutes. Let's pick up the pace just a little bit while we wait for things to unfold. We've got a few nice sniper bots over here from Johnny Jr., as well as a fatty there. Boba Fett rolling forward. The first experimental we've seen get forward. It's gone in itself. Pinged. 5 kills thus far. It's currently annihilating the front line that Johnny Jr. has got. And Johnny Jr. actually electing to bail. So that's interesting. He really doesn't feel like tangoing with the fatty. A few little probing attacks here from the noob with his bricks. Goes forward. Come on. Fatty. Well, 29 kills thus far. This was a really dicey looking forward operating base from the perspective of Team 2. I mean, Johnny Jr., let's credit to him. I mean, it's not often you see a commander ways on the front line on such a high rated game well over half an hour in, and he was. I mean, we were experimental times now. 2 fat boys here. One from Boba Fett, the other one from Furior. And the Furio's also escorting his with shields. We've got Percy's, anti-air, right pick and mix. And yeah, I think the only thing Johnny Jr. can do at this moment in time is put tail between his legs, about face, and quick march. GC here, gotten itself quite far forward. I'm not sure here Furio's forgot about this or what. Tell you who hasn't forgot about it. Nomander, he comes in with a Corsair snipe. What's he actually got there? 24 Corsairs. And I'm not sure here what's going on. This must be an oversight from Team 2. He does now realise it. Unfortunately, a third of the hit points had gone down for naught. Corsairs get a second free run on the target. Nomander now moves his ASF over to screen. Furia follows it up with his ASF. We do have a little bit of an air engage here, but it looks like neither player completely willing to commit. Strap bombs on the GC now that's got 18 kills. We've got this Ravager wall that's going up there from Casimarius, and the GC collapses. Is however followed up with a Fat Boy, and this, if ever there was a target for your Corsairs and your strap bombs, Fat Boys with their long range barrage fire would be it. Right now, the only game in town. 2 Fat Boys and major air fight over the top. 37 minutes, and we've got our first massive air fight. Both players are engaging. Slight advantage to Team 2, fighting over the top of all this flak and SAM site. One of the Fat Boys is down just as a third comes in, making it 2 on the front line. And to make a bad thing worse for Team 1, Furio has won that air battle. Nomander, rather than losing all of his ASF, does elect to back off. Throws his Corsairs away at the forward Fat Boy. Does take out the shield. Does not manage to take out the Fat Boy itself. Furio now settling his ASF over the top of the enemy base. Nomander desperately chucking, in this case, 5 or 6 gunships towards the Fat Boy. They don't get anywhere near it. Fat Boy temporarily in range of a Ravager fire or 2. But yeah, this does not look good, not at all if you're rooting for T1. Furio with air supremacy fighters right over the top of their base, and I'm seeing very little anti-air fire coming up. We do now see a few more SAM sites going up for Team 1. Perhaps realising, yep, we've just lost air. We need SAM sites covering our base. Furio realises it and backs off. Meanwhile, over here, Press from Fraggington. We've not seen too much from him this game thus far, with a Megalith walking down onto the noob's forward operating base. The noob turns tail and runs. The walls at this moment in time are serving more of a hindrance than a help. It's a very well shielded up base, but look how long it's taken it to chew through the Megalith there. A few seconds shy of the 39th minute. We've got yet another nuke out from Nomander, and that there right into the forward operating base of Boba Fett. That will put a big hole through and perhaps enable Casimarius to re-establish a front line, who right now is tied up dealing with the artillery pieces. In comes the nuke. Yeah, that's a massive hole in the forward operating base. Unfortunately for Team 1, the two Fat Boys still remain online, but they do have a chicken coming through, and if that chicken gets close, which it looks like it will, down goes one of the Fat Boys. Quick glance again over here, the front line there of the Noobs base. Yeah, it's going down almost for free here, thanks to the Megalith's superior range and the Cybran's weak shields. We've also got a nice press with a brick wall here. Dead 6 pushing through. Furio's forces looking a little outnumbered there, brick-wise. But back over here, continuing to press. And what is this? We've got our first defense sat in the area from Furio, and it looks like it's just bagged itself a support commander. And now going for isolated mass deposits. Megalith over here now from Nomanda, and that will plug the front line. Chicken continues to press. Did get itself the second Fat Boy. And as it continues to march through, Furia redirects his restorers. How many we got? 21 in total. That will eventually go through the chicken bot. I'll tell you something, and I'm glad it happened. These restorers, they're by far the best gunship in the game, in my opinion, but their air-to-ground ability has definitely been nerfed, and that's because they have such a strong air-to-air capability that none of the other gunships enjoy, not by a long way. Attack missile snipes now coming out here from Furia. Where are these going? Perhaps one of the attack missiles did manage to pick off one of the support commanders. It's actually going, I think, here for the commander, Casimarius, but there's just not enough missiles and they're too sporadic to break through. If one of them does connect with the commander, he's going to get a caution, and then if he don't respond before, he will then. 41 minutes, and yeah, look at this. The forces from Fraggington wipe away the Noobs' side base, but yeah, run into a wall of restorers together. This time, Furio not making the mistake. He is covering his restorers, all 44 of them, and they're just going to chew through that Megalith right methodical. And I assure you, they're not going to move until the job's a good one. I do like what Frankington's done here. He split off his bricks. He continues to press with his bricks, even though he knows he can't win with the Megalith. He may as well try and get it back as far back as possible, so he's at least got a chance with the mass. Johnny Jr. not happy with these TAC missile launchers. Elects to send a few chicken bots in. Oh, very nice dodge there. 5 missiles going for the Megalith belonging to Casimarius. Casimarius dodges. And in the dying death of the TAC missile launchers, they fire for... Oh, they're going to go for the mass deposit. Legit target. This is very well played here. Look at that. There's 15,000 mass there. And it definitely closer and going to benefit Team 1. Times 2, that was 30,000 mass that the TAC missile launchers have taken out in their dying breath. Very well played, Furio. I like it. I'm not sure if anybody ever gave you credit for that. Probably not in the heat at the moment. I'm giving you it here and now. Boba Fett looking very confident with his forward operating base. He's actually gone and got it all the way up to Tech 3. As I start melting as my computer's thinking, yeah, this is a really good game, but it's going to get hot for you. I'll turn my fan on. With all the action in the game, hopefully you won't notice. Alright, 43 minutes then. Let's have a quick economical update as we have once again a little lull in activity. So mass totals overall, 208 versus 198. Is still in favour of Team 2, but that is a very small advantage, down to just 5%. So Team 1 been catching up in leaps and bounds since we last checked. And let's have a look at the, I'm just going to call it the KBR from here on in, the kills to build ratio. The KBR is 0.39 versus 0.25 in favour of Team 1, and that's quite a discrepancy. But look at this, Johnny Jr. has gotten himself caught with his pants down with all of these restorers here. 63 restorers on the screen. Johnny Jr. shedding 20,000 hit points like it's nothing. Nomanda sends his ASF in, and perhaps a bit of a mistake there from Furio. His ASF was out of position. Just a handful of restorers remain. Johnny Jr. has still got 18,000 hit points, and importantly, at least 2 or 3 lightning tanks as well. And with it, all of the restorers are down. That was a huge win from Team 1. Kazimarius does get on the 6 of Nomander's ASF, does make him pay. But I suspect losing 40-odd restorers was a lot more costly than the, I don't know how many ASF there Nomander lost on the pursuit. Nomander happy to chase Furior out of his main base and shoo him away there. He's still got 157 ASF, but I suspect Furia's got many more. And yeah, not by actually as many as... Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, scratch that. Furia, at least a 2-to-1 advantage on air, as we see. And so I think Nomander very, very well played there. Saves Johnny Jr., as well as sniping off a bunch of enemy restorers, even though they had massive air supremacy. Big, big props. Megalith having a little bit of bother dealing with some of the Tech 1 artillery. And Johnny Jr., man, at 45 minutes, he is still way past the 50-way mark with his commander. Don't forget, 50-way mark is basically here. And he's way past it. He's had massive hordes of Percys. He's had restorers. He's had fat boys to contend with. But Johnny Jr. says, yeah, it ain't over yet. Nice little run by with a couple of Percys, but they do run into a massive wall of units as well as point defense, so I'm not sure they managed to get anything done. Nonetheless, they'll have put giving them the heebie-jeebies back there. And I think we're just seeing our first piece of artillery here. And it looks like the aim is for Nomander's air grid. Don't forget, there's been a defense sat in the area for a little while. And let's take a look. Yeah, indeed, we have Furior together with his defense sat has now got himself the Tech 3 static artillery, the UEF Duke. I'm going to teleport it to kill it, but I might die, so be ready for my base, says Dead 6 to his allies. Oh, what is this? Johnny Jr. up against 2 GCs belonging to Furio. He does have himself 1 chicken to defend. That's now gone, so the Ion Storm, if anything, is going to bag Johnny Jr.'s damage. He's now sub 20,000 hit points. Just 40% health. Now just 20%. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night. Team 2 finally killed their first commander. It's now a 4 versus 3. Still in favor of Team 1, but that's certainly better than a 5 versus 3 if you are rooting for Team 2. Team 2, who of course we're in the lead. Look at this, 2-4-3, 2-4-4. Both teams ticking over at the same place there. 2.45 million at the same as well. So at the 47th minute, economically speaking, it is neck and neck. We do have some minor, in fact, more than a little bit of damage here. Nomander losing several air factories and fusion plants there from his air grid, thanks to what is now 2 defense satellites working in cahoots with the static artillery. 47.5 minutes. Let's have a look then. This guy said he was going to teleport. Where is he? Here he is. Oh, he's already got it. Dead 6. He's got Mazer, he's got teleporter, and he's got him send gun. So let's keep an eye. Surely, well, we'll see. Wait. Oh, here he goes. He's charging. The guy is charging. There is the pink ball of, I don't know what to call it. Let's just call it the self-quantum gateway pink ball of doom. Is it going to work? Well, let's have a little look. Where's he going? There's the icon. Oh, it's into the back of Furia's air grid. I thought he was going to go for the artillery piece. Here he comes. It's nicely shielded off, and so Furio's somebody who's happy to not just build a grid and then wonder why it all goes up, but he shields it off. Dead 6 jumps in. He's already a 5-star. He's got 60 kills. But he is now eating the wrath of Strat Bombers. He's trying to teleport away. He cancels at 50%. He cancels his teleport, and this is it. There's those 4 Strat Bombers coming back round. There's a bunch more. And Dead 6 on a sacrificial mission there, taking out most of the air grid belonging to Furio. That brings it back to a 3 versus 3. Wow. Yeah, that's 2/3 at least of Furio's air grid that's got up. Furio, of course, has been sat on 3 bases for the majority of the game. Nomanda, though, hang on a minute, what's happened here? Yeah, it looks like Kazimarius has handed off in large part of his base to Nomanda, and I suspect that's because T1 they had more players the longest, until of course Johnny Jr. Was taken out recently, and I reckon he saw the enemy airplane. You and the enemy airplane are evenly matched, but he sat on 3 bases. You're sat on 1, and for the longest time it was a 5 versus 3. And so if that's what Kazimarius was thinking, there's no way we can win without air. You need more economy here. Have at least a good portion of my base. That is nice team play. We've seen it before, and here we see it again. Experimental versus experimental up here. GC's got the health. Chicken's got the shields. And the GC does get the chicken despite the 2 or 3 Seraphim shields that were rolled forward. And the GC now with a nice bit of vet thanks to that. So 1 star, it's halfway on its way to the 2nd. And there doesn't seem to be a great deal there to stop the GC. At least not until this megalith rolls up, which to be fair ain't far off either. 50 minutes, massive air fight over the central estate. And this time, I think Furio's got to be careful, because if he don't win this, we already know he's lost a big portion of his air grid. And it does look like both players back off before it was concluded. Let's have a little count up then. Nomanda, Commander currently under attack thanks to some of these defense stats, has got 200 ASF. And Furio, let's cancel. He's not too far behind. He's about 30 or 40 ASF behind, but Fury again losing a huge part of his air grid. He's managed to rebuild some of it. But at 51 minutes, Nomanda, I just think Nomanda, or he perhaps could make some better use of his team. There are, of course, 3 players. I realise he's the strongest player, but Fraggington, you know, he hasn't got the most in the world to do just holding here. Kazimarius is also, again, I'm assuming Kazimarius just didn't go completely AFK. I can't actually tell. But we've got another nuke out, and this time it's from Furio. And it's coming across. And where's it going? Oh, this is a decent spot here. We've got a perimeter monitoring station, several fusion reactors, a bunch of economic structures, and I'm not sure how many support commanders went up, but that was a decent nuke to have connected. 52 kills and makes it a 4-star nuke in one shot. 66,000 mass taken out. That's a good nuke any day of the week. Brick wall down here from Nomanda, trying to press in, going after the Monkey Lord there, belonging to the noob. Look at that play from the noob. He cycles the ill health Monkey Lord behind the shield, brings forward a full health Monkey Lord. Well, if he's 752 on the rating points, the noob ain't going to be like that much longer. Beautiful play. That was a comprehensive win for Team 2. We've also got a press up here from Nomanda together with Kazimarius. Also got the shields together with tanks, anti-air cannons. Have we got ourselves a few lightning tanks in the mix? Well, they're not jumping. Oh, we do have at least 1 or 2. Perhaps do with a few more. The lightning tanks so good at what they do. Strategic bombers over here from Furio going after the support units that 2 Megaliths and the Monkey Lord had. Fraggington electing to push. Heard what I said through the passage. What do you mean I'm just here being static? What a tac missile snipe and a half. What we got here? 19 tac missile launchers from Furio and 19 missiles are gonna miss. Well, I'm sure that would have killed had it have connected. have a little look back here. I was wondering what they all going for. Here's why. Nomander has knocked himself together as Scathis, and we're here to see the initial rotation. 53 minutes, 55 seconds. The first droplets of doom pass themselves across the map. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying this game, you know what to do. Leave it a like. Thank you very much, as the first droplets of doom are about to impact. We're just a few minutes shy of an epic. There they go, into the shields. We've also got the megalith here. Team 1 are pressing together with the chicken in tow. Megalith is going to eat a lot of Ravager fire. Doesn't look like it's going to get too much else done, but it does have himself 133 kills upon its death. Just Nomander here needs to either keep pushing or back off right now. One or the other. Standing there is the worst possible thing. Numerous pings going down, no doubt, for his team, from his team. Yeah, Nomander realizes it, and again, this is when one guy's just juggling far too many things. He ain't got the APM. Even a 1900 Nomander ain't got the APM to do everything at once. And with it, that attack fizzles out. But yeah, look at this. The base belonging to Nomander is clearly on the menu, as it does have the Scathis, and I think it's therefore time to split the screen for a little bit. Clearly, Team 1 and their fate hangs off the Scathis. Team 2, well, I don't know. They've got the air. They're rebuilding the grid. They're certainly able to hold. All the attacks coming their way have been sporadic, and they've been able to bat them all away and no doubt benefit economically. But look at the amount of devastation the Scathis is causing. Oh my goodness. Look at all, I love this use of the mobile shields here, threading them in and out, providing intermittent shield coverage, as well as the layered shields there, even though they are Cybran. The Seraphim mobile shields, of course, the Tech 3 mobile, not the Tech 2, unlike the UEF and the Aeons, but they are very good. And there you can see, despite the defense stats working on it in cahoots, they're unable to begin to break through. Now look at the amount of damage here from the Scathis. Yeah, it's not happening. Scathis with 233 kills to its name thus far. 149,000 mass. And in come the next lot of droplets. Let's have a look how that changes. 233, 234, 241, 246, 291, 304, 307 kills. I think we're also seeing something else. Yes, we are. Fraggington's got him sent a disruptor online now, and he's capped that off with P-gens for the Roth. I don't think we got to worry too much about the Scathis. Let's get the scoreboard back on. Go on then, who do you think's going to win? I don't think it takes a genius to figure out. Probably most of you are going to agree with me. That's the guy with Scathis. Probably. And the Scathis is certainly having its way. Let's have a look at the totalizer now. 3.7 versus 3.5 mil in favor of T1. And so this is the first time we've actually seen the guys up top, on top. Out goes a nuke. It's a nuke. Oh, it's a Fuhrer. Look where he fired it. Right back there. The Scathis currently disrupting a shed load of the base belonging to Boba Fett, but this nuke's going in. I'm sure he must have scouted it. Scouted it to see that there's no missile defense, and there ain't. I'm not seeing anything. Nomander gets one out in the nick of time. He's trying to get the Scathis away. The nuke's going to connect. And I don't believe it. Furia on the 57th minute, 57 seconds, picks off not just the Scathis, but Nomander as well. Nomander dead, and his dying nuke that come out of the hole just in time. Looks like it's going to repay the favor. Furio's main base, with Furio stood right in the middle. That's just gone thermonuclear. 58 minutes 22. Fury, I guess they're technically killed by the explosion from his fusion reaction rather than a nuke, but either way, it's down to a 2 versus 2. Well, if you didn't like it before, ring ding ding, because that just changed everything. 1,300 players remaining on Team 1, and I really gotta say it's more like 1. It's Fraggington, and that is all. Fraggington hands over the ASF to Kazimarius, who better not be AFK at this moment in time because he just got all the air, and they're up against Boba Fett and the Noob. The Noob, who's been playing pretty well, and I have to say, huge credit here. I'm not sure if I pointed it out. Furio, when he saw that his new base was killed, Furio with his engineers, rather than pinch the mass, actually built him a strategic missile defense so he didn't get nuked again. That was fantastic team play from Furio. Very well done. Got our first defense sat over here from Team 1, looking for what pickings can it get. And Kazimarius now on a big scouting run. Let's see what his team can see. Well, there. Almost everything thanks to that. Lots of advice here, there, and everywhere, including where Boba Fett's commander is. The marker has gone down, and a marker there for the second commander. And so both enemy commanders from Team 1's point of view have been pointed out. The bases have been shared out a lot more evenly. I like this. The APM has been evenly distributed between the 1,300. And I don't know whether Kazimarius was AFK or what, but he certainly ain't now. And at 1 hour, we are officially through the mark of epicosity. What a fantastic game to come back to. This game literally went down like 3 or 4 hours ago as I record this. Hopefully by the time you see it, if you've subscribed and rung that bell, will only be 5 or so hours after the fact. What a fantastic game. Thankfully, the disruptor here is still firing from Fraggington. That's the only standoff artillery piece that they have, having lost the Scathis as well as the nuke. You don't want to call that standoff artillery. It's in a funny kind of a way, I guess it is. Artillery with a thermonuclear tipped warhead. Rocket propelled. Missile guided. Alright, it's not really artillery, is it? I get your point. Kazimarius making a big push here. Sporadic as it is. Boba Fett with a much more cohesive front. And look at these. Once again, these TAC missile waves. If he can aim those... Where, is he split the aim? Or oh, they're all going to one point. That's if he found some way of easily splitting that attack up. We've now got artillery from up here. What's this? Fraggington with his Seraphim artillery piece. And that's now aiming, and it looks like both the artillery pieces and the nuke, and it looks like they've got it in for Noob. Once again, the Noob is on the menu. Kazimarius with his Air Force does look like he's got the numbers. We've got a few strats here from Team 2 going after these megaliths, but I don't think they're going to stop them in time. Yes, there's one Monkey Lord, one megalith over here for defense, and the Noob is on the run. But he ain't got no gun. He is, however, a Tech 3, but at this moment in time, I don't think that's going to serve him much use. Numerous experimentals on his case. He's still got 2 megaliths here. I don't know how they're both still alive. We've got a third one here. We've got artillery raided in. We've got strats over the top. And let's give him his name one last time. CSTRKR16, currently on the receiving end of unimaginable amounts of fire. And there he goes. And the ball that contains the soul with the Cybran commander back to the Quantum Gateway for another battle on another day. Very well played. Whether you really are at 800 or not, I don't think you will be for much longer. Thank you very much, and apologies for putting up with my calling you a new ball game, but I guess you really were. But again, Things improving fast. This megalith now the only experimental in the area. It's gotten itself pinged. There's a full health, or much higher health should I say, megalith here from Boba Fett. And providing Boba Fett don't let it go out of sight. Well, it's a megalith on megalith, so that's going to go to the healthier one first. We still have a defense sat over Boba Fett's base, so that's this guy here in yellow from before, and it looks like Boba Fett got some power issues, and indeed he does. He cannot afford to run his shields, which is terrible when you've got defense sats and artillery overheads. Where is Boba Fett? He is here. He's trying to get himself a salvation online. Well, that ain't happening when you can't afford to run anything. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 55 seconds. Picking up the pace slightly. And it looks like isolated support commanders going up thanks to artillery pieces. And we've got at least 2, if not 3 pieces raining in now from Team 1. We've got defense sats in the area. And what has he actually got? I guess he's just trying to hole himself in and hope he can get this online, but I don't think it's going to work. I think Team 1 at this moment in time, yeah, look at this, they've got the eco, 1.7 versus 1.1. So a 600 mass per tick advantage at this moment in time for Team 1, which is about 30-40%, and that's unsustainable when it's in the long-range wars. The artillery, together with the defense sats, have broken through. Shields are beginning to crumble. Boba Fett panics. He wiggles this way, he wiggles that way, but the sats are still going for him. The artillery is still going for him. And I think we can see where this is going. He's trying to get him sent a new shield online. He just about gets it. He's working on another. Look how effective, though, that artillery. That's a Tech 3 shield, and it's collapsed. In comes another. He gets another shield online. I mean, man, this here is like, you can't really do anything else. All your micro is taken up on shield micro, trying to rebuild, repair, and that's before the other guys start trying to bomb. In comes another defense sat. They're really breaking through now, and I don't think there's anything Boba Fett can do about this. 1 hour, 6 minutes, 29 seconds. The nuke is coming in. He's desperately getting his drone stations in. Well, look at this. He's not got the eco. He's got the shields, but no eco. The salvation's online just in time to get taken out. How disheartening is that? The chat's laughing. They're finding it hilarious. Boba Fett does not. He capitulates. 1 hour, 7 minutes, 12 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed that game even half as much as I did. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Until next time, wherever in the world you may be, take care. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Don't forget to check out the Patreon if you want to see more. And until next time, ta-ra. Thank you very much. See ya.